So, as an international student,
Yeah.
what do you cook when you feel homesick? What are traditional French dishes?
Do you have any sustainability tips or budget saving advice?
What is the personal significance of this dish for you?
I'm recording. What's your name and where are you from?
Hello, my name is Giulia Bassani and I am a student at the University of Westminster. I am currently on my second year of a biomedical science degree and I was born and raised in Brazil. I'm putting my apron because things are getting messy. So today I'm going to prepare a traditional Brazilian dish called bobó de camarão, which translates to shrimp bobó. Now what I'm going to do is chop the butter squash and boil it because this is going to be the base to our shrimp stew. I chose this specific recipe for today because it is a traditional northern plate, which means that it has influences from Africa as well as indigenous and also a tiny bit of European ones when it comes to the seasonings. So this is the squash chopped in water and now I'm putting it on the stove to boil. This dish is able to embrace all of our influences in only one plate. I'm seasoning the shrimps and frying them. Our community is not used to growing our own food in city settings because we have a security problem. And that means that as a country, we don't rely on houses with gardens. We usually live on condos. If you live on a countryside, you can and you will grow your own food. One of the main advantages of being a student trying to cook traditional food outside my country would probably be the access I have to foreign ingredients. And now that I see myself at London having access to multiple imported ingredients, I don't need to rely on such limited sources. Now, regarding the disadvantages, I would probably need to mention the culture itself and how most of the time I cannot create the environment I would usually create back in my country. Back in my country, when we're cooking a dish, we usually serve it as a hot meal for loads of people, while in here, I don't see that happening as often. One good memory I can think of related to this specific dish is that we usually prepare it as a family on Christmas back in Brazil. One of the main ingredients for this dish is azeite de dendê, this one, which is something I could only find at a Brazilian store. It is a type of olive oil made out of a palm tree that can only be found in Africa. Would you like to smell it? Okay, now. One great sustainability tip that relies on an Italian idea of broth making is keep all the leftovers you've got of your vegetables, even protein sources, keep them and put it in a pan with water. Boil it for as many hours as you want, and at the end of the day, you have a delicious broth that you can use for soups, you can use for pasta, you can use for even meat. Instead of throwing things away, you can put them in a broth. As a student, I need to be way more careful about budgeting when it comes to cooking than what I was back in Brazil. I don't usually cook every day. I mostly buy pre-made lunch boxes and then store them and freeze them for the entire week, while I didn't used to do that back in Brazil.
Bom dia.
Oh, thank you. Would you like to try it?
I would love to try it.
Try it. See if you like it. Mix it with the rice.
Wow.
I'm curious to see what the next person is going to cook.
Hi, my name is Camille. I'm a second year student studying biological sciences. I come from quite a rich multi-ethnic background. On my mum's side, I'm Nigerian. On my dad's side, I'm Jamaican and Bajan. Today, with these ingredients, I'm going to be making macaroni pie. Today, we have obviously regular macaroni ingredients, pasta, tomato, milk, butter. But in focus, we're going to have plantain and Caribbean avocado as well. I got this sauce from my local market and I bought them, I believe, on Monday, and I waited 4 days since ripening to be used today. This dish holds a special place in my heart because it's something that my grandmother used to cook for me, and it makes me feel really connected to my Bajan heritage. Essentially, what you need to do to make macaroni pie, you need to boil the pasta and then make kind of a sauce melting the cheese, milk and butter. Then you add your seasonings, your ketchup, and you mix it all together in a bowl and you put it in the oven. I would say a big difference about sourcing food and sustainability would be like when my grandmother was like my age and younger, everyone like would have like a farm and grow stuff like potatoes and carrots. Everyone like would share it across the streets, like different produce that they had. It's like different to what we have now, like supermarkets around like every corner. On my mum's side, I would say a few traditional dishes would be like egusi soup, rice and stew, jollof rice. And on my dad's side, there's actually like akin saltfish, jerk chicken, scallops, flying fish, whole bunch of stuff, yeah. I would say to find like specific cultural foods in London, there's places like Brixton Market, Walthamstow Market as well. Those two are really good places, I think, that are good to find like, you know, ethnic and cultural ingredients, yeah. In regards to sustainability, to like reduce food waste, I would say that like a lot of food doesn't need to be binned when you think it does. A lot of food, when it's like ripe like this, does not need to be binned. You can still use it, it's perfectly good to use, I would say. In regards to the plantain, you fry it, and then avocado, you just cut and peel it, and you have it on the side. If I was to describe plantain, whether you are from Africa or the Caribbean, I would say it is a cross between a banana and a potato. In terms of like budget saving advice as a student, definitely get like a membership card for every single shop that you go to. I would say try to go to like the shops that like have lower prices, like Lidl and Aldi when it comes to doing that. Definitely start meal prepping and try not to eat every time you're out at campus. That would be my budget saving tips. I would say the main difference between this avocado and the ones that you typically get here in England would be like these are obviously a lot larger. These are green compared to the ones that are black in the supermarkets, I would say. And these taste a lot more fresh, have a more refined flavor. This was really good. I hope you guys try to make it at home. I can't wait to see what the next person makes.
Hi, I'm Elspeth. I'm a student at the University of Westminster. I'm currently studying architecture and environmental design. And I am from Essex and Devon, and I currently live in London. I chose to make pancakes today because it's kind of been a staple in my childhood, and each time I cook it, it's normally in the lead up to Lent and using up all these ingredients that would go to waste, and trying to be more mindful with our consumption. There's going to be 3 large eggs going in, about a pint of milk and flour. I kind of just put all of the ingredients in one bowl and mix. It's very unserious in the way you make it. It's kind of just shove it all in, mix it together, throw it in the pan, and then flip it. Which is, I like how simple it is. It makes it easy for all the generations to make. I forgot the olive oil. This is actually a bottle from my friend's farm in Albania.
What are traditional dishes from your culture?
I would say bubble and squeak on Boxing Day, fish and chips, pancakes, and full English breakfast. I would say it's really important for my family to eat freshly sourced food. We normally only eat fish when we go back to Devon for the summer, and there's a little town on the coast where the catchphrase for most of the fish is that it's still in the sea the day before you're eating it, or even in the morning before you're eating the food. So it really signifies the importance of the food coming from somewhere close by. I feel like there's a balance of the environmental impact and also the taste is so much better when it's in season. For example, the mangoes are now in season and they taste so much better than if you were to have mango in the winter. I would say the most money you can save is by using up all the food you buy. We normally try and reuse leftovers the next day and try to repurpose things. For example, bubble and squeak after the Christmas dinner. Kind of reheating the different components in a different way to create a whole different dish, which we do every year, which is quite sweet. I like to have my pancakes with a little bit of lemon and a little bit of sugar. So first I squeeze the lemon onto the pancake. There's never too much lemon. And a little bit of sugar. I roll. I'm excited to see what the next person makes.
Hi, my name is Samya and I'm from India. I'm an international student in my second year of PhD, and I'm at the School of Life Sciences doing my research on development of sustainable coatings for surfaces. Today I'm sharing with you a recipe which is really close to my heart because we used to prepare it together on weekends with my family, and especially some days my dad used to take over the kitchen to make this. It's called aloo paratha, which is basically stuffed tortillas with potato filling. So yeah, that's what I'm going to share with you today. In India, different states have got their own different cultures. It's very diverse. They have got different recipes. North and south are divided by their different types of oils they use, different ingredients they use for the same food sometimes actually. And I come from the north part of India, but I've spent my life in south as well. So basically I love the combination of both together sometime. The dough is ready. We are going to let it rest for a few minutes. Meanwhile our potatoes have boiled, so I'll move on to making the stuffing. I belong to a Punjabi family, and for us we use a lot of spices in our food. We use a lot of milk and milk products in our food, and we are vegetarian because I come from a Hindu family. And it's a personal choice at this stage of my life to be a vegetarian. We have got chopped onions, we have chopped the coriander, we have chopped the chilies, and I have got the ginger grated as well. As an international student, if I'm feeling homesick, I love making comfort food, which actually my grandma used to make for me. So it's the basics. We call it dal and rice. It's lentil soup and rice, or something known as dahi tadka, what we call in my culture. It's basically making very comforting curry kind of with curd. Or if I'm more homesick, I just end up going to my friend's place and we cook together and eat. Usually I buy my ingredients from Tesco nearby my home because I get in the Indian section, international section, the Indian ingredients I need. But sometimes if there is something I cannot find there, I prefer going to Wembley or Southall where they have Indian markets or Indian supermarkets. Sometimes my parents send me parcels with all the ingredients and spices. Now we are ready with our stuffing. We have our dough balls ready. We divided them into small balls, and now I'll be stuffing in using this filling, and then we'll be cooking them. We follow a lot of sustainable practices, I will say. We make a lot of pickles out of anything we see, I can say. If you go towards the north, our pickles are made with a lot of mustard oil, so it lasts long. I have had pickles in my home which we had for 10 years. I even got some here with me. while coming. If we get the pickles from south part, they even use the coconut oil in their pickles, making it like a probiotic in our food, and the pickles are essential part of our food. So we cook the stuffed paratha, both the sides, and then we add the butter to it. I'll share few drinks we make to beat the summer. It's shikanji, that's basically lemonade, but with a lot of other herbs, like we add mint to it, we add little bit of spices to it. Then there are some probiotic drinks like kanji, which is basically made with beetroot. It's a fermented drink. This is mostly made sometimes in winters actually, because they keep it in sun. It needs to be kept in proper heat of the sun for a few days before it's ready to be consumed. So my parents back in my hometown, they have got their mini terrace garden, and we grow all the herbs there and sometimes even the vegetables. We have got tomatoes, chilies, brinjals, and a lot of green leafy veggies. If it's grown in home, it's completely organic. And since I started learning more about organic gardening, I keep sharing the tips and tricks with them as well. We have yogurt. In yogurt, we have added black salt, and we have got mango chutney. It's basically raw mango thing, like a pickle, similar to a pickle.
So tell me what you have done.
I made a meal for us. I made aloo paratha. We have curd here, and I'm going to plate it for you guys. It's good. You'll like it. Thank you for today. I'm really curious about the next person. Be ready to come in front of the camera and show us amazing cuisine.
Hi, my name is Luanne Quentin, and I'm from France. I used to live in the south of France, but I've also lived near Paris and have family in the north, so I have a bit of knowledge of all the regions. I'm a student in psychology at the University of Westminster, and I work with the Cavendish Living Lab. So today I chose to make a King's Day cake. So it's a tradition in France, which actually translates to galette des rois, and it's a tradition that actually comes from Christianity, which was I think 12 days after the birth of Jesus. The three kings came to visit him, and it was just a day that's been celebrated ever since. My significance is not related to Christianity. It's something that has become so big, like Christmas in France, that everyone celebrates it, no matter what religion you are. So it's become very, very celebrated. What happens in this tradition is you actually put one of these called fève in the cake, at random in it, before sealing it and putting it in the oven. And then you randomly serve slices to your table or, to your family dinner. And whoever gets the slice that has the fève in it becomes the king or the queen of the day, and they get a crown. Especially children abide by it, is that person will make rules for the day and give orders, and people will follow the orders. And that actually comes from Roman tradition, where Romans basically did have that day. They would also put a bean in cake, and whoever had the bean in their slice, they would become the king for the day, the actual king.
So for this recipe of the galette des rois or King's Day cake, you use 2 puff pastries, 100 grams of sugar, 75 grams of butter, 140 grams of almond powder, 2 eggs, and 1 extra egg where you only use the yellow. So a whole meal in France really looks like you come to the table and you have little appetizers like saucisson, which is dry sausage, which will also have crisps on the table. You'll have all sorts of small veggies with dips. And then next we can go to the main course. So we'll have a salad, we'll have meat, and
before dessert we'll have a cheese, and then we'll have dessert. So yeah, French people love food, so we've made it into a proper event every dinner or meal we have. And yeah, so we have lots of traditional dishes to be able to go within each category. So when I was in France, we used to have this tradition just with my family where every Wednesday at lunch we would have mashed potato and minced steak. So mashed potato in France is really delicious. We make it like from the potatoes, not within like powder. And we used to have that as a tradition for lunch because in France on Wednesdays when we were younger, we didn't have school in the afternoon. So Wednesday is hump day in France, so it's meant to be like a sports day for children. So you always finish before lunch. And so yeah, you'd have lots of time to eat with your family. We have so much local produce in France. Actually, it's quite a big pride in the country. So we have obviously all the eggs are local because we have so many farmers all over the country, so many chicken farmers. Meat is also very local. We don't import a lot of goods, and if it is, it's just a tiny section in our massive supermarkets. We have obviously butter is also locally produced, but we also have a few fruits and vegetables that are also locally grown. Every region sells their own version of produce that they locally make. So in all the supermarkets all over France, you'll have different regions, so you have huge aisles of different choices, and they're all local. I love making this for my family every January, and we always have a lovely dinner. And usually the tradition is that the youngest goes under the table and chooses slices randomly. So it's a lovely little event you have with your family, and I love doing it every year. I think the best thing about cooking is making it for the people that you love.
Serious? Are you serious? It's like,